Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most devastating and financially damaging moments for Russia in this entire war. Ukraine has just struck a massive blow to Moscow's economic heart by blowing up what analysts are calling a $15 billion oil lifeline. This wasn't just an ordinary explosion, this was the destruction of a key part of Russia's secretive shadow fleet, the hidden network of tankers that has been quietly transporting oil around the world. In defiance of Western sanctions in one precise and daring strike, Ukraine has managed to ignite a fire that could cripple Russia's oil revenue and shake the global energy market to its core. The moment the strike hit, everything changed. Satellites caught the fiery glow of the explosion, lighting up the night sky over the Black Sea. The blast turned the dark ocean horizon into a burning wall of flame. The ship was one of Russia's largest oil carriers, part of the fleet that had been quietly fueling the war effort by exporting oil through covert channels. This fleet was Russia's way of keeping money flowing when much of the world had shut it out. And now it's in ruins. The exterior damage was massive, the hull ripped apart by the impact, steel plates twisted and peeled back like paper as flames tore through the decks. Explosions followed one after another as oil reserves ignited, sending towers of smoke thousands of feet into the air. What once symbolized Russia's defiance has now become a floating graveyard of fire and destruction. The interior of the tanker was a labyrinth of oil chambers, pipelines, and control rooms built to handle millions of barrels of crude, but in seconds, it all turned into chaos. Alarms blared, red lights flashed, and the control systems went dead. As pressure valves burst under the heat and flames tore through wiring and metal, the crew had no time to respond. They abandoned. One ship as the inferno consumed everything from navigation consoles to pumping systems. This was the heart of Russia's oil export operation, reduced to molten wreckage. The interior, which once represented the complexity and capability of the Shadow Fleet, was now nothing but ashes and smoke. The performance of Russia's Shadow Fleet had long been praised by Moscow as an engineering success. It was designed to operate under the radar. Literally, ships were stripped of identifying markings, repainted and registered under fake companies. They carried out covert oil transfers in international waters, often turning off tracking devices to avoid sanctions. These ships were built for endurance, secrecy, and deception, but the Ukrainian strike proved that all that stealth and secrecy means nothing against precision warfare. The fleet's performance in theory was impressive, but in practice it was no match for modern drone technology. Ukraine's sea drones have become one of the most feared weapons in this war, capable of striking deep into Russian-controlled waters with pinpoint accuracy. This attack shows that even the largest and most protected vessels cannot escape. The safety features of these tankers were questionable at best. These ships were old, repurposed, and often poorly maintained. Russia's desperation to keep its oil flowing meant cutting corners and ignoring regulations. Many of the vessels lacked modern firefighting systems, automated shut-off valves, or reinforced compartments to contain fires and explosions. Once the first drone made contact, the fire spread uncontrollably. There was no defense mechanism, no fire suppression, and no effective crew response in peacetime. This would have been a major violation of maritime safety standards, but in wartime it's a disaster waiting to happen. The Shadow Fleet was designed to survive sanctions, not missiles, and that has proven to be its greatest weakness. What made the Shadow Fleet unique was its invisibility. It was a network of ghost ships, vessels sailing under false names and false flags, transferring oil from one ship to another in the middle of the sea, often in darkness, to avoid detection for years. This network had been Russia's hidden source of wealth, allowing it to keep selling oil to countries willing to look the other way. The Ukrainian attack shattered that illusion by hitting one of these ships. Ukraine didn't just destroy hardware, it attacked Russia's ability to fund the war. Every barrel of oil that burns at sea is another dent in Moscow's war chest. This strike sent a message to every operator and investor tied to Russia's oil network that nowhere is safe anymore. The financial losses are staggering. Experts estimate the total cost of this strike at around $15 billion, including the value of the destroyed vessel, the oil cargo, the cleanup operations, and the lost future revenue for Russia's energy trade. Even more damaging are the indirect effects. Insurance costs for Russian tankers are now skyrocketing. Buyers in Asia are starting to hesitate, and oil routes once considered safe are under scrutiny. The cost to Ukraine by comparison was minimal, just a few precision drones and strategic intelligence. Yet the impact was enormous. The strike hit not only Russia's economy but its reputation. It proved that Ukraine can reach beyond the battlefield and target the machinery of war funding itself. The strike also has broader geopolitical consequences. Western nations have long warned about the Shadow Fleet, calling it a violation of sanctions, but until now there had been little direct action. This Ukrainian attack changes everything. It forces Russia's allies and neutral countries to reconsider their participation in oil deals that use this covert system. It adds new pressure on shipping companies and ports that have been quietly cooperating with Russian exports, and it could push global oil prices into another period of instability. Ukraine's message is clear: if you help fund the war, you are part of the target. This operation also demonstrates the evolution of Ukraine's military strategy. In the early days of the war, it focused on defending territory, but now it's hitting Russia where it truly hurts in its economy. Ukraine understands that cutting off Russia's money supply is as powerful as winning territory. The success of this attack shows how warfare has changed in the modern era. Drones, intelligence, and precision strikes are now tools of economic warfare as much as military action. In the end, the explosion of Russia's $15 billion oil lifeline is more than a military success. It's a turning point in the economic war behind the battlefield. It shows that Ukraine has found a new way to fight, not with sheer numbers, but with strategy, precision, and intelligence. It shows that no matter how hidden or powerful Russia's operations appear, they can still burn under the right pressure as the smoke continues to rise over the sea. It carries with it a powerful message to Moscow: your wealth, your lifeline, and your shadow fleet are no longer safe. This war is being fought on every front, and Ukraine just proved that even the deepest shadows can catch fire.